Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. We are back, and this is the match preview ahead of what we would call the first proper big game of the season. Manchester United against Spurs, one of those traditional top six sides. I know they didn't finish there this season, or did they? I can't even remember. I just remember them celebrating on the sidelines as they sealed Europa League football. It was a fall from grace for the side that did end in a Champions League final the season prior to that. But a new manager at the helm, and our former boss, Jose Mourinho, we've already come up against him twice. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting 4 points out of 6 against Jose Mourinho. And they've already been having a little bit of a head-to-head in the media, in their press conferences, having a little jab here and there. And it's going to be interesting to see the two teams that both managers put out on the weekend and how they approach this game. Now, Manchester United coming in on the back of victories over Brighton. Victories plural, because we played them twice in the League Cup and in the Premier League. The Premier League game wasn't pretty. We benefited from a full-time penalty. Obviously, it was a fair penalty, but it was a surreal moment when United got a penalty after the final whistle. And we got the 3 points by hook or by crook. It wasn't nice to watch. As for the Luton game, the Brighton game in the Cup, there were obviously better performances with a second string side. We were able to give players minutes, and those were probably kind of like pre-season games for Manchester United, to be able to get some players up to speed, get some confidence into some of those players. We saw Paul Pogba scoring that goal for Manchester United against Brighton, and although it took a deflection, a massive deflection as well, he will still feel the benefits from scoring that goal. So it's a big game ahead, with so many different storylines involved in this game coming up as well. And Manchester United really have to get a win, because when we look at the season, we've already played one game at home. We lost that against Crystal Palace. Then we played against, obviously, Brighton, got 3 points. But in those two games, we've conceded 5 goals. We need to see much better by way of clean sheets and defensive performances. Look, we're coming up against a very good Spurs side that scored 7 in the Europa League this week. And Harry Kane is on fire with goals and assists. And they've got, obviously, a better goal threat than the likes of Crystal Palace and Brighton. All due respect to them. But we have to be at it. We've seen better performances in defence from Eric Bailly in midweek. And will he come into the game? That's just one of the topics that we will be discussing today here on AdamMcKola TV, here on the preview. United have just got those wins under their belts in the right time with this game coming up. And I know there's a lot of talk about the transfer window. I know there's a lot of talk about this and that and the other. But we're not going to talk about transfers right now, because we just need to take a little break from it, don't we? We need to take a little break from it. Now, if anything breaks and it's official or it's reliable, then we will obviously discuss it. But right now, let's not look at that. Let's look at the game that is coming up. And look, we should all be very disappointed about the transfer window. We should all be very disappointed. And we should all voice our opinions and our disappointment in regards to the transfer window. Again, it's been shoddy from Manchester United. But when we look at this fixture by itself, and when we look at the team and the way we ended last season, the way, obviously, we haven't started the season well in terms of performance, but when we look at things, there are things to be positive about, and there are things to approach this game and think, I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to hopefully United turning up, performing, and getting one over Jose Mourinho. There's still things to be positive about Manchester United. Unfortunately, the ineptitude of our board, unfortunately, the shoddy transfer window is masking over that. And obviously everyone's disappointed about that. But we have got, at least in our first 11, the 11 that you'd expect to play against Spurs, we've got a good team there, something to be excited about. So I'm trying to look at this game in isolation. Obviously, if the transfer window closes, we've done no business. I'm going to be giving you my opinions on that, obviously. So let's not take my excitement for this game and my excitement for seeing Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, Pogba, Bruno, all these guys, Donny van de Beek coming up against Jose. Don't take my excitement for this game as me being happy with the transfer window or trying to paper over those cracks of a transfer window. So yes, we're just going to focus on this game here today. And let's look forward to a big game. It's a big game, you know what I mean? It's a big game. And Spurs, They've played a lot of games in quick succession. Obviously, there's some of their players that won't be involved. I think Alderweireld's one of them that won't be involved against Manchester United. He played in their last 2 games. Let me just double check this actually, because Eric Dyer played in 2 consecutive games, but he was given the night off against Maccabi Haifa yesterday. Harry Kane played against Maccabi Haifa, but he was given the night off against Chelsea in the League Cup the other day. So when you take those things into consideration, you can kind of reasonably guess which of their players will play. You think Harry Kane will start. I don't think Bergwijn will, because he played against Chelsea and against Maccabi Haifa. So you'd expect to see Harry Kane. Lucas Moura, he started against Maccabi Haifa. He didn't start against Chelsea. So I think we'll see Kane, Lucas Moura. I think we'll see Lo Celso played against Maccabi Haifa, and I think, yeah, he didn't play against Chelsea. So I think Lo Celso will play. Jose likes Lo Celso. He also likes Højbjerg. I think he'll start. And then another one in the midfield, it'll either be Winks or Ndombele, I think, in the midfield. Because Winks played against Maccabi Haifa. He didn't play against Chelsea. Ndombele played against Maccabi Haifa. Against Chelsea. And he didn't play against Maccabi Haifa. So I think they'll go with Lo Celso, Ndombele or Winks, and Højbjerg in midfield. Kane, Lucas, and one more up top. Or you could see Dele Alli potentially coming back in, but I doubt we'll be seeing that. He's been pushed to the side by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I doubt Alderweireld will be starting this game. He's played both games back to back 90 minutes. I think Eric Dyer will come back in. I think Tanganga will come back in. I think we could possibly see Reguilon come back in for them as well. And I think we'll see Doherty start this game too. So although they've played a lot of fixtures, they have rotated a little bit. Some of their players have missed a game over the last couple of days, so you can kind of try and guess what kind of team that they will play, but still, even if Bergwijn doesn't start, you know he's a threat from the bench, and it looks like Dele Alli will be back on the bench as well. I can see Denton in the comments saying Lo Celso and Son are doubtful. Now Son's obviously a player that was injured. He had a hamstring injury the other day, and now he's being, obviously, I doubt, even if he's back, I doubt he starts, because of the simple fact that, you know, it's a hamstring injury. Do you rush someone back with a hamstring injury? I'm not too sure. So Heung Min Son's a doubt for them. Lo Celso, it says, is a doubt, but I don't know. 2 days ago, Jose said, I expect to have Son back after the international period. So that was 2 days ago. So unless things have changed, and that could be a little bit of mind games, Son, you know, isn't going to be available. But he was asked about him today, so let me just bring this article up. Mourinho asked again if Son will be fit for Sunday, and makes claim about his time at Man United. Jose Mourinho remains unsure over whether he will be able to call upon Son Heung-min to face Man United on Sunday. South Korean star suffered a hamstring injury in the first half of the draw against Newcastle. He's missed their last 2 games, and while Mourinho stated that Son would be out for a while, those initial fears over his recovery period have been allayed, and he could be in contention for the trip to Old Trafford, although the Portuguese believed on Wednesday that he was still a big doubt. He was asked again on Thursday and said, I don't want to lie to you and say he doesn't play and Sunday he's there. At the same time, I don't want to say he plays and then he doesn't. So let's wait and see. In this moment, I honestly don't know. So Son Heung-min could be back for Spurs, but as of yet, it is still doubtful. In terms of Manchester United, we've got no new injury worries, which is a good thing to hear. Obviously, seeing Paul Pogba scoring that goal was a delight to see, because we need to see a little bit of confidence in Pogba, a little bit of fitness as well. To see him get another 25 minutes was good too. Hopefully he'll be up for that game. If you've watched All or Nothing on Amazon Prime, the Spurs documentary, you'll see the game when we play Spurs, and Jose really made a point of telling the Spurs players to watch out for Paul Pogba and his abilities, and then Paul Pogba went on to win the penalty. And I think Paul Pogba could be a massive threat to Spurs if we do get him into that team, especially with his passing ability in between the lines and over the defence for the likes of Martial, Rashford and or Greenwood. Also, if you look at our previous performances against Spurs, you know, coming off the bench to help us grab the draw in the last game there, setting up Marcus Rashford's goal I think they were at Wembley at that point as well. So we have had a good few performances from Pogba against Spurs. You remember the FA Cup semi-final performance, shrugging Dembele, putting him on the weights, getting him out of the way, and setting up Alexis Sanchez for his goal as well. So United have no new injury worries. The only players that will not be available are obviously Phil Jones, Sergio Romero, and Axel Tuanzebe. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had his press conference today, and he was obviously asked a lot about transfers with the deadline coming and approaching in a couple of days' time. But we're going to not look at his comments about transfers. We're going to look at some of his comments on the little back and forth between him and Mourinho. He said on the Mourinho penalty comments, "It's just more for you and the media. It's important that we have a bit of entertainment as well. And Jose has throughout the years given us some fantastic moments in football in press conferences." There was never anything really serious between the two. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mentioned the goalpost thing in relation to Jose Mourinho taking that picture on Instagram, checking the goalpost size. And then Jose Mourinho had another little dig. He took it quite seriously and mentioned the penalty box thing. Obviously, Jose being his typical moody self. And then it went on again. And I can't remember what Ollie said after that. But, you know, they were just having fun. A little back and forth, a little head to head before the game. They both know what they're doing. And there was nothing ever malicious in it. It's good to see Ollie stepping up, though, and having a little go at some of the more superior, experienced managers. Because, you know, regardless of what we think of Mourinho, regardless of what happened at the end of Manchester United, he still goes down as one of the greats in the managerial game. And when you look at the kind of managers in the league, you got even Ancelotti at Everton, Bielsa at Leeds. You know, some big challenges for these managers there. And if you're not confident and you're not able to throw down, you want to throw down, dog? I'll throw down. You may as well not be there. So good to see. Harry Maguire had a knock after the last league game. He was holding his ankle. He said he should be okay for the game against Spurs, though. And what else has he said on the game? Again, a lot of what he's been talking about was transfers. On Mason Greenwood, he says Mason's one of the top strikers of the future for England, and I'm sure he's going to play many games for England. This now has been a learning curve for him. Mason has to reflect to where he's at, what he needs to do, how to get where he wants to get. So there you go. Back on the Mourinho stuff, he says, "We are in strange times at the moment. You've got to sometimes have a bit of fun." There was a couple of innocent comments. For me, Jose is a very charismatic coach and manager. I've enjoyed in the media talking to him, enjoyed watching him. He's a winner, but I'm not one of these that really go into all these mind games. I've got ultimate respect for him as a coach and results and everything he's given football. I'm not going to go into the transfer window now. My focus is on Sunday's game. The club's always working hard to have as strong as possible squad. And if something happens, in or out, you'll get to know. Harry Kane's one of the top strikers in the world, and you're happy he's back fit after the injury he's had last year. We'll do our best to keep quiet. We have a Harry back there who's looking forward to facing his international teammate. I'm not happy about him being fit for this one, to be honest. It's obviously always a threat, isn't he, Harry Kane? The best striker in the league. I used to say that about Sergio Aguero, but I think Harry Kane has overtaken him. Obviously, Sergio spent a lot of last year injured. So has Harry Kane had his injury problems, but I think Harry Kane has overtaken him. I'd still have Aguero right behind him. Probably have Vardy in there, or Aubameyang as well. And then you got the likes of Martial, and those man you got to get into that level where you consistently, you know, scoring 20 plus a season. That's what they need to do. They're of the age though where, you know, still got plenty of time to get to that level. When you look at the age of those players that we're talking about, they're in their 30s, some of them. So they'll get there, and I'm quite confident that Rashford, Martial, they'll get 20 plus, 25 plus this season. I'm sure of it, especially if they steer clear of injury. I'm sure they will do that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game, you know. I really am. Anyway, Eric Bailly, someone says in the comments that he has to start. He was at Denton. Says Eric Bailly has to start. And on that note, let me bring up my team news. There's my predicted 11. David De Gea in goal, Shaw, Bailly, Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Matic, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes with Greenwood, Martial and Marcus Rashford making up the front three. That would be my predicted lineup for this game. That's the team I want to see take on Spurs. That's the team I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will play as well. He should be bringing Eric Bailly in. He's spoken recently of how much he's admired him and just bringing him back slowly but surely. And whilst I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, start Eric Bailly, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done the right thing in just building him back up slowly, taking his time with him a little bit. So bring him back in. You got Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bailly, Shaw, Pogba, Matic, Fernandes, Greenwood, Rashford, Martial. That is my team for this game. Donny van de Beek, yes, I'd love to see him start, but you probably bring him off the bench for someone like Pogba. Pogba still not fully fit. He looked better against Brighton midweek. He looked sharper, getting on the ball, picking the right team, doing all that good stuff. But we still know he needs to gain his fitness, as does everybody else. There's a lot of players there that are searching for fitness and they've looked unfit in the first couple of games. So that's the team that I would go with for this one, and I think we'd get a win as well. I'm confident we will beat them. Obviously BG Krishna says, will Bale play tomorrow? Gareth Bale I don't think is ready at all. He's just returned to training this week. It's a big game. Obviously we have to worry about the threat of Lucas Moura, Harry Kane, Bergwijn if he starts. Lo Celso's got a goal threat, Lemea's got a goal threat, and I think it could be, if I was going to predict their team, I'd go Kane, Moura, Lamela, I'd go Bergwijn's going to start, Lo Celso, and then Ndombele or Winks. Probably go with Winks, but Ndombele, he seems to be fancying him now. And then in defence, I think we'll see Tanganga, Doherty, Dyer, and potentially Reguilon. But who knows in that one. So that's the team I think they'll go with, given the last couple of squads that they've put out, the last teams. But obviously Son is looking 50-50 now for them, when it looked like he was definitely missing the game. Ollie's been speaking about how Jose's been speaking about how he could be back. Kevin says Bailly has to start in my opinion. XS thinks Ollie will start with our weakest link, Daniel James. We hear reports today that Daniel James could be leaving Manchester United, so if any of those rumours were true, I doubt we'd see him start in this game, to be totally honest with you. But who's to say those rumours are true as well? They might not be, you know what I mean? They might not be true at all. And who would have thunk that? Not me. I got transfer window fatigue now. I just can't wait for it to close. Really can't wait for the transfer window to close. It's tiring. It's really tiring. You feel like every day the story around Sancho is the same. And I've got a kind of, on United Daily Live, I have to give you the news that has been reported on that day, whether it's about transfers or whatnot, whatever. And sometimes I get tired of just repeating the same, but we have to report what's out, especially when they're coming from reliable sources. But yeah, let's see what happens. My score prediction for this one, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Manchester United. I think we're going to grab a 2-0 win. Let us know your thoughts on the score predictions as well. You predicted 11. Do you agree with my predicted 11? How's the sound like on my new mic? Is it alright? Turn it up, turn it down from here as well now. Don't have to fuck around. Got the gears on the mic. Happy days. I would play Van der Beek on the right, says Lakesh. Interesting. Yeah, Lindelof is a cat. Kane will bully him, says Spider. That's why we need Eric Bailly. Nobody wants to fuck with Eric Bailly. Mata was superb the other night. Hopefully we see a bit more of him. Adam is just class, says Russ. Yeah, he was quality the other night. I don't think we'll see him start this game, but he could be a threat off the bench if we're looking for a goal or trying to force things towards the end. 2-1 win, says Minnie. Denton says 3-0. 1-0 says BG Krishnan. Ryan, thank you very much, bro. Lakesh says 4-3. XS says 1-1. 1-0 says Ross. 2-1 says Spider-Man. Come on, Martin. Spent like 200 quid on this bitch. You're saying it's shit? Jeebus. Killing me here, brother. Absolutely killing me, yeah? 2-1 and switch Maguire for Lindelof, says Lewis. 3-1 says Kieran. If that is the starting lineup, I'd say 3-0 says Denton. Andrian says 2-1's more realistic. And we've let in 5 goals. Surely we won't keep a clean sheet, says Hussein. If we start Bailly, we will. Ming says 2-1. David says 2-1. Shubik says 2-1. Nathan says 2-1. And hopefully our confidence is echoed in the scoreline from Old Trafford on Sunday. I am going to be on the kickoff on Sunday, so make sure you're joining us for that. Make sure you're keeping it liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. This has been the preview, guys. I've appreciated every single one of you for tuning in and joining us for this. And for now, I'm going to get out of here. But remember, we'll be back at 10:30 PM UK time with the latest Manchester United news, headlines and transfer rumours. And if anything breaks before then, we'll be here with breaking news. So subscribe, hit the notifications button and join if you can. See you in a bit.